Hi everyone, this is Claire, and it is a full blue moon in Sagittarius today on the 31st of May. So, this is a little astrology summary of 3 reports that I've read, just so that you know a bit more. And it happens at 9:44 a.m. UK GMT and 4:44 a.m. New York and 1:44 a.m. LA. So I start with something which was kind of really going into it in a bit more detail, but it's felt like I've had a funny week, I must say. It's felt a bit like being trapped and pressure, and apparently we were pressure tested on May 26th with the Mars Pluto square, which meant tension. And then 28th of May, there was a Venus square Saturn, and realizing that certain connections were not right for us, and what we thought and what is actually happening were differing. And then May 27th, Pluto and Mercury kind of felt like we were on fire in a crucible, so quite a difficult time. And then Moon entered Scorpio, and we got kind of into our own thought processes and own psyche, processing trauma and shadows and things, meaning like negativity. And Scorpio holds us underwater, sort of asking us, it's a water sign, what we must release. And it's like the darkness before the dawn. And then yesterday, May 30th, like Sagittarius takes action. And the sign of Sagittarius is bow and arrow. Sorry, I've had a cough quite badly. And it's like fresh air coming in. So Sagittarius is a mutable fire sign, and so it's kind of quicker moving and moves things forwards, and our luck shifts. So it's kind of earned us some of this, soul searching that's been done has earned us freedom, and the universe rewards that. And some of that heavy weight feeling might go, and we might feel a bit more momentum. And yeah, so in this summary, they talked about 3 types of keys to it. One was an emotional, psychological feeling of freedom and overthinking, but Sagittarius moon burns through it and replaces it with trust, and helps, especially if you carry trauma, and you might feel lighter and breathe easier. And the second was intellectual visionary expansion, seeing the bigger picture suddenly. Ideas become plans, decisions are obvious, and downloads come in fast and furious, and analysis paralysis stops, so people can make decisions. And thirdly, relational autonomy and joy. So around May 28th, we were seeing now we can honour ourselves without draining us, and we don't abandon the self, and those who are meant to leave us fade away. Because as we become more ourselves, then some people might not be used to that and like it. And then, so there's this shift today with this really strong micro moon. So it's a smaller looking moon, and it's not actually blue, but it's called a blue moon because it happens, it's quite rare. And in this month, there is a second full moon. So there was one on the 1st of May, and I believe it was in Scorpio. And this one is in Sagittarius. And it happened at 4:44. Blue full moon in Sag, and it's sort of a release, and clarity over decisions. And the universe says you're free now to act on something. And in early June 2026, Jupiter enters Cancer, and it's exalted and it's in its max power, and freedom is really key then, and a new path for the year. Jupiter in Cancer cares about emotional security, and regards individual signs. If you have a mutable one, Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, there'll be a spotlight on home life, identity, career as well. And for the fixed signs, Leo, Taurus, Scorpio, Aquarius, some of the fights might be over and you can survey the landscape. And cardinal signs, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn, Libra, I don't think I mentioned Pisces. I can't remember which one that falls into. Anyway, cardinal signs, there's massive change for careers, identity, and home. So, um, and so the Scorpio moon at the beginning process changes, and now this arrow is releasing tension, and it's the next chapter really. It's the arrow, and Sagittarius is the bow, with the arrow. People using the full moon will have advantage, so it is a nice time to maybe have chat with someone, make a decision, think about what this next full period will entail. So, also I looked at Pam Gregory, and she just does so much detailed work. I can't keep up with it at all. But on 26th of May, there was a strong square. She talked about the Mars, Pluto, strong power, and on the world stage as well. And she said, look back in December 25th, December 25, there was a new moon in Sagittarius, and what happened then for us, and what might be closing to do with that. I couldn't actually think, to be honest, what that was, but you might know. So Pluto in Aquarius, and Sagittarius is a sign for travel, expansion, honest and straightforward. And it actually links with flight as well. And Pam had already described, I think I said it last time, about her amazing dream where she had lost her luggage, but she wanted to go to some amazing exotic location, and she didn't have to take luggage with her. And so she said a lot of people resonated with that and had a similar dream. So had I as well. But it's about leaving our old baggage and beliefs behind, really, beliefs as well as kind of physical baggage. And Sagittarius does rule beliefs, apparently. So, and then we're in a phase of new revelations, and Sag is linked to our beliefs. Some people might have shocking revelations as well. And there are kind of radical shifts in our perceptions and more meaning in our lives. And Pam mentioned power outages in April, and France, some hackers got hold of 19 million people's information, and that was like digital data. So it was like sudden shock and backing up data being important. So there's an urge to speak the truth and being authentic as well. And Pluto in Aquarius reinforces it. And so she looked at the chart, and she said, like, the moon was one side and the other planets the other. And the moon is also like a handle of a basket on the chart where they depict it. And the aspects would be Uranus, Sedna, Jupiter, and expanding our feelings, freedom, self-care, and truth and justice as well. A Mars-Pluto aspect, still forceful and revolutionary. And this 2020s is a whole decade of revolutionary energy, really. Might be that we feel a bit exhausted by that at times. But also think, what have we outgrown? And really, what are we thinking about now? Because Mercury and Gemini are quite active, facts and information, and Uranus with quick decisions in the moment, especially around June the 12th. Do apologise. There's a T-square to the nodes, north and south. And the south node in Virgo, daily habits, continue or look at new choices and freedoms. Sorry. Pam sees more leadership changes in countries as well, linked to Algol. Sedna Ceres conjunct Straits of Hormuz closed, food production and seafood disruption, growing our own vegetables and things, she mentioned again. And Neptune oil in fire sign. Inflation was in the 20s and 70s, especially in 73 with an oil crisis. And this period is like potential for that. So for high inflation with the problems with oil. And she mentioned this thing about 4 fixed signs of Persia. I won't go into detail on that. I have written it down. It's kind of new to me. But there were these 4 signs. They linked to the archangels as well. and the directions as well. It was quite interesting, really, but I won't go into detail. But also, she really thinks there's a strong shift in consciousness June and July and August, and July has very busy astrology. She said, be the change you want to be, like the Gandhi saying. And the Kasabian symbol is golden haired goddess of opportunity, and opportunity being a very positive word. And we are expanding our consciousness. And she mentioned like people feeling more telepathic, maybe more psychic, really noticing nature and the colours, people having dreams that are vivid and bright colours in the dreams. And these things happening in evolutionary waves, really. And people are in different kind of realities as you speak to them. I think there's quite a lot of people in their own worlds almost, really. But she suggested get together with people on the same wavelength and try and help each other. And then I looked as well at Tanya Gabrielle, who's more a numerologist. I just looked here and it's 11:11, very spiritual time-wise. She mentioned it's 9/9 full moon in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, because on May 31st today it's at 9:44 a.m. UK GMT and at 9 degrees, Sagittarius full moon, and it's the blue moon, as we said. And Sag brings expansion, joy, wisdom, teaching, philosophy, sometimes hope and trust, and quest for the truth. Take a risk activated. It's like, a bit more risky, that sign, really, and quite it's into exploration, really. She looked at the Egyptian bounds, which are like a different type of astrology going back thousands of years, when they only knew about certain planets. And it was very much focused at the moment for Jupiter, because you've got Moon in Jupiter bound, ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter, and Sun is 9 degrees of Gemini, but in Jupiter bound. And without going into detail, it's a highly positive sign, and a yearn for freedom. The Moon brings balance to intuition. Oh, sorry. She mentioned a triangle sextile to Pluto. And a truth is gently revealed and a leadership role. I'm going to have to finish there, but happy full moon.